Can you read the first question?
Yes, sir. Consider a circular loop of wire lying in the plane of the table. Let the current pass through the loop clockwise. Apply the right hand rule to find out the direction of the magnetic field inside and outside the loop.
Okay, so listen here. You have to imagine there is a loop of wire, circular loop of wire in front of you lying on a table, and in that wire current is flowing in clockwise direction. Okay, if the current is flowing clockwise direction, then applying right hand thumb rule, we need to find out the direction of magnetic field inside the loop and outside the loop. For example, you can consider like this. Suppose this is the loop. Okay, so if you imagine this as the current carrying loop, a circular loop, and a current is flowing through this one. Imagine this is lying on the table. Okay, and if the current is flowing clockwise direction means for me the clock direction is this way. The current is flowing in this direction, clockwise direction. So I should keep the right hand, this is my right hand, okay, on this loop, and the thumb in the direction of flow of current. Okay, for me this is the clockwise direction. Imagine in front of you there is a circular loop like this, and you do with your hand, and I am holding this loop with the finger, this thumb pointing in the direction of current. The current is flowing clockwise direction. For me this is the clockwise direction, and I am holding like this. That time the question is to find out the question is asking to find out the direction of magnetic field at a point inside the loop, means in this area, and outside the loop means somewhere here, outside the loop. So if I am holding like this with this thumb pointing in the clockwise direction, then you can see inside the loop my fingers are going vertically downward. So inside the loop magnetic field direction will be perpendicular to the table in the downward direction, because magnetic field lines are concentric circle here, and the concentric circle at this point, if you draw a tangent, that will give the direction of magnetic field. So for a circle, if you draw a tangent here, that will be vertically downward. So first answer is at a point inside the loop magnetic field is perpendicular to the table in the downward direction, and at a point outside here you can see the fingers are coming upward here. Okay, after holding like this, okay, the fingers going this way, and outside it is coming in the upward direction. So outside here magnetic field is perpendicular to the table in the upward direction. If I am holding on the loop with the thumb showing the direction of current in clockwise direction, then inside the loop magnetic field is perpendicularly downward, and outside it is coming upward. So here it is upward, perpendicular to the table. So all of you write the answer. You can do yourself. You just keep something circular in front of you on the table, and you hold it with your right hand with this thumb in the direction of current. Then you can see the fingers will be inside the loop will be vertically downward, and outside it will be coming upward. Read the second question.
The magnetic field in a given region is uniform. Draw a diagram to represent it.
Yeah. If the magnetic field is uniform, how can we represent that? How can we represent a uniform magnetic field?
Parallel lines.
Okay. A uniform magnetic field can be represented by parallel lines with equal gap, equal spacing. So all of you draw this diagram. A uniform magnetic field can be represented by parallel lines, straight lines, parallel to each other, and also with the equal spacing. This represents a uniform magnetic field. Can you read this question?
Choose the correct option. The magnetic field inside a long straight solenoid carrying current is 0, decrease as we move towards its end, increase as we move towards its end, or is it same at all points?
Okay, this question there is a controversy. Choose the correct option. The magnetic field inside a long straight solenoid carrying current is 0, decreases as we move towards its end, increases as we move towards its end, and is the same at all points. Actually, correct answer is decreases as we move towards its end. This is the correct answer. But in the textbook before this page, there is one sentence saying that inside the solenoid the magnetic field is uniform. I will show you that. Here there is one sentence you can see. The field lines inside a solenoid are in the form of parallel straight lines. This indicates that the magnetic field is the same at all points inside the solenoid. That is, the field is uniform inside the solenoid. This is the sentence. And as per the question, clearly mentioned, choose the correct option. The magnetic field inside a solenoid, inside a long straight solenoid carrying current is 0, decreases as we move towards the end, increases as we move towards the end, is same at all points. Actually, when we take a solenoid, there is an equation for magnetic field inside the solenoid, at the middle and at the end. At the middle of the solenoid, magnetic field is given by B is equal to mu naught is a constant, N is the number of turns per unit length, I is the current. I is the current. This equation is coming in 12th class, 12th standard. Mu naught is a constant, N is the number of turns per unit length, I is the current. This is the equation for magnetic field at the middle part. But if you take at the end, at the two ends of the solenoid, equation is this divided by 2. So magnetic field at the end is half of the magnetic field at the middle. So when we move from the center towards the end, it is gradually decreasing. But in the textbook it is not explained completely. I will give you the answer as per your textbook. Okay? According to your textbook, the answer is what? Is the same at all points. Correct answer is B. Option B is the correct one. But as per the sentence written in your textbook, we can give D as the answer. Exam, if you are getting this question, you write D as the answer. Okay? But keep it in your mind that actual answer is B. Decreases as we move towards the end, towards its end. So write the answer. D is the answer. The next question.
Which of the following property of a proton can change while it moves freely in a magnetic field?
Which of the following property of a proton can change while it moves freely in a magnetic field? There may be more than one correct answer. So what can be the answers? When a proton
Velocity and momentum.
Okay, velocity and momentum. These two can be changed. Mass cannot be changed, and mass is constant. Speed also, magnitude of speed will not change, but velocity can change. Why is velocity is changing?
Direction.
Yeah, because inside the magnetic field, proton will move in a circular path. When it moves in a circular path, every point its direction of velocity is changing. So when velocity changes, momentum also will change, because equation for momentum is what? Momentum P is equal to m into v, mass into velocity. Momentum is a vector quantity. The direction of momentum is direction of velocity. Direction of momentum is direction of velocity. So if velocity changes, then momentum also will change. Means there are two answers for this question, C and D. C is correct answer, D also correct answer. When a proton moves in a magnetic field, it will follow always a circular path. In that circular path, direction velocity changes. So velocity changes and momentum also changes. A vector can be changed by changing its magnitude or direction. Now next question. Read question number 2.
In activity 13.7, how do we think the displacement of rod AB will be affected if 1. The current in rod AB is increased, 2. A stronger horseshoe magnet is used, and 3. Length of the rod AB is increased.
Do you remember that activity? This is the activity. In this activity of U-shaped magnet, the question is how the displacement of the rod AB will change. What are the points? Can you read once again?
A current in rod AB is increased.
Okay, if the current is increased, what will happen to the displacement? It will increase, because I have given one equation for this. Do you remember the equation for this one? What was that equation? The force acting on this aluminum rod AB, F is equal to Bill sin theta. You forgot Bill sin theta. B is the strength of magnetic field, I is the current, L is the length, theta is the angle between direction of current and magnetic field. So as per this question, when the current increases, force will increase, so deflection will increase. When more stronger horseshoe magnet is used, if the magnetic field strength is increasing, B increases, then also force will increase, then displacement will increase. Then length of the rod is L, AB, so AB is L. If length of the rod is increased, then also displacement will increase. The maximum displacement can be obtained at what angle? At what angle theta maximum displacement can be obtained?
Perpendicular.
Means theta equal to how much?
90 degree.
90 degree. Theta is equal to 90 degrees. Sin theta has maximum value when theta equal to 90 degrees. Sin 90 equal to 1. Means if this rod is hanging perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field, direction of magnetic field is in the figure, north pole is at the bottom, south pole is here. So magnetic field is vertically upward. Okay, and the current is flowing this direction. So this angle is 90 degree between the direction of magnetic field and direction of current. Angle is 90 degree. Sin 90 is 1, that is the maximum value of sin theta. So force will be Bill. Sin theta equal to 1, sin 90 equal to 1. So Bill will be the force. That is the maximum force. Then write down the answer. Question is this one. In the activity 13.7, that is the horseshoe magnet activity. How do we think the displacement of rod AB will be affected if number 1, current in the rod AB is increased, number 2, stronger horseshoe magnet is used, and 3, length of the rod AB is increased? Write the answer. The displacement of the rod AB will increase as the current in the rod AB increases. Number 2, when a strong horseshoe magnet is used, and number 3, when the length of the rod AB is increased. Means in all these 3 cases, displacement also will increase. Written. The next question.
A positively charged particle projected towards west is deflected towards north by a magnetic field. The direction of magnetic field is towards south, towards east, downward, upward.
Okay. So here we can answer this question. While answering this question, what you have to do, you can start doing like this. In your paper, notebook paper, you draw the directions like this. Your front side should be north always, and backward will be south, and your right side should be east, and the left side should be west. This way you note down the direction in your notebook. Your forward direction is north, backward direction is south, towards your right east, and towards your left west. Which rule can be applied here? We have 3 rules: right hand thumb rule, Fleming's left hand rule, Fleming's right hand rule. Out of this, which one?
Fleming's left hand rule.
Correct. Fleming's left hand rule. So all of you take your left hand, and 3 fingers perpendicular to each other like this. The thumb, index finger, and the middle finger perpendicular to each other. Ready? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now see in the question, it is saying positively charged particle, alpha particle, projected towards west. So positive charged particle, direction of motion of positive charged particle will be direction of current. Direction of motion of positive charged particle will be direction of current. Then your middle finger, this is FBI, force, B magnetic field, I current. Middle finger is direction of current. So you have to show this middle finger in the west direction. In your figure, okay, in the paper you have drawn, keep your this finger, middle finger, towards west. It is deflected towards north. Deflected towards north means you have to show the thumb towards north. Thumb in your forward direction and middle finger towards west. Then you can see this index finger is upward.
Upward.
Yeah, D is the answer. Upward direction. Read the next question.
State Fleming's left hand rule.
State Fleming's left hand rule. What is statement of Fleming's left hand rule?
Fleming's left hand rule states that the thumb, index finger, and middle finger of the left hand should be stretched such that they are mutually perpendicular to each other.
Very good.
If the index finger points in the direction of the magnetic field, the middle finger is in the direction of the current, then the thumb will point in the direction of the force acting on the conductor.
Very good. Stretch the 3 fingers of the left hand, the thumb, middle finger, index finger and middle finger mutually perpendicular to each other. Then if the index finger points in the direction of magnetic field, the middle finger in the direction of current, then thumb will show the direction of force acting on the conductor or the deflection of the conductor. Then next,
What is the principle of an electric motor?
What is the principle of electric
It
motor?
works based on the principle of force acting on a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field.
Very good. It works on the principle of force acting on a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field. Next question.
What is the role of the splitting in an electric motor?
What is the role?
Splitting acts as a commutator
Hmm.
which reverses the direction of flow.
Very good. As the splittering act as a commutator which reverses the direction of current.